Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the middleweight bout between Nick Maximov versus Karl Roberson. In this fight, it's kind of interesting in a way. I was going to lean to Karl Roberson, but I'm going to lean to Nick Maximov. So we're like 20 seconds into this video, you already know who I'm picking. But yeah, I was going to lean to Karl Roberson at first due to his experience. Who has Maximov beat? When has the Diaz brothers ever trained a really solid guy? I think most people that the Diaz brothers have actually built up the actual product, not guys that have trained with them and started to move to their gym. But like people that they have built up and developed, most of the people just come out mediocre in a way. Like they come out like lesser Diaz brothers. That's really, they be just as stiff, just as slow, not as durable, or they be durable and they just don't have the height and reach. They be like short. I don't know. It's like it just be a bunch of Diaz knockoffs that are nowhere near as good. Don't have none of the abilities that they have, and just trying to mimic them. That's what they usually be. So I can't really be all that high on Maximov, so I was gonna lean to Karl Roberson. But looking at his background, pretty high level BJJ, pretty confident. And then looking at also a big factor why I'm leaning to Nick Maximov is Karl Roberson's path. You might look at the guys he lost to, and like, oh, he did lose a submission in a lot of these losses, and pretty much all these losses. It's the grapplers in all these losses, outside of Wellington Thurman, who he beat. But and also these guys he did lose to were much better. Like he lost to Glover Teixeira, about to get a title shot. Harry had a title shot, been in one of the best light heavyweights for what, like the past 6-7 years, maybe even longer, because he was one of the best light heavyweights even way back when like Rampage was champion, or I don't know. He's been around forever and been a top guy for a while. It's that he can have visa issues. So Glover, even with his recent, like, I mean, past 5, 6, 7 years, been a top guy, and even way back in the way back, he been a top guy. So Glover Teixeira and a BJJ world level, so solid guy. So you can't say nothing about BJJ. And also he was at light heavyweight, and you got Brendan Allen, who's one of the brighter prospects, contenders in this middleweight division, and keeps rebuilding his prospect status. Recashing that now. He's looking good. Brendan Allen looking solid. Striking, grappling looking much more improved. I think it's one of the guys he lost to Cesar Ferreira, who was the Ultimate Fighter winner. And he lost to Marvin Vettori, who was like, I think he has only really lost to Adesanya. He lost to Cesar Ferreira too, but outside that, he only lost to Adesanya. He ain't really been losing like that. So he only lost to three, 4 solid guys, like world class guys that's gonna be at the top. Well, Brendan Allen we still got to see, but other guys already made it to the top. Brendan Allen's still pending, but very solid guys. Nick Maximov, again, no real guarantee he's gonna go anywhere in the UFC. He might just get knocked out in this fight and be in and out. He might just come out as be a gimmick. Who knows? But I see a high level BJJ player. This is gonna be a reach pick for sure. But I'm picking Nick Maximov. I can't say like it's the best judging as far as predicting or the fundamentally sound prediction. Like, oh, I looked into this and looked at that. Oh, he gets submitted by that. And this guy's very good in this position, that and this. Nah, I see a high level, a pretty solid BJJ practitioner versus a guy who seems to have a deficiency. Not a deficiency. His grappling not bad, but he does have a tendency to lose the grappling. His grappling itself is not bad. So Karl Roberson does have underrated grappling, but I'm gonna follow the trend that he typically loses 90% of the time when he goes against high-level grapplers. And I feel like Nick Maximov, especially trained at the Diaz Academy, should have enough striking to make it, to getting his attention, be able to work to the ground. And also, even this fight against Wellington Thurman did have a lot of control time. So whether it be a submission or a decision, I can see both paths for Maximov. But I'm going to lean to submission because he typically loses by submission and not decision. So I feel like he's going to be able to gain respect on the feet, be able to work, control the cage, drag him to the ground, pepper him up, start to wear on him, grind the clock out on him. Then in the second round, continue to pepper him up, and then eventually find that submission like late in the second round. So in this fight, I have Nick Maximov via second round submission.